Hey, John, I know when you try to get your playing rotation down to a number, is it more important what a guy does in practice to get into that rotation, or more important what they actually do during games to show you the production when it counts the most?
It's both. It's both. There are some guys, when you put them on the stage, they'll blossom, that you're not sure about them because in practice, but they get on the stage and they do it. There are other guys that earned the right to get on that stage with how they practiced. But at the end of the day, merit wins out. I mean, Jacob is jumping into the rotation because of his energy, not how he played. The energy, the toughness, the attack, and he's playing. Now, he only practiced 7 days. So it's all merit-based.
Thanks.
Jerry, we'll go to you and then John Hale.
And speaking of the stage, how big is the stage tomorrow night? How does that impact preparation, of the conclusions, or at least thoughts that you would have playing that stage?
Well, we approach every game the same. We're, like you saw, the last team made 11 out of 15 threes against us. And so every team we play, it's the biggest game on their schedule. So this will be, you can't make it any different. This will be the stage, all the stuff we're saying, look, our thing is focusing on us. We're going to play how we play. They're going to play how they play. And either they're more advanced than us or we're a little more advanced than we think we are. But we'll find out. This is the games you learn about your team. This is it. And we have, before our league, we have 5 games or 6 like this that we'll learn about what we are. So, it's going to be a hard game for us. They're really, really good. They're deep. They're big, 7 foot, 6'10", 6'11". They're big. So, it'll be a challenge.
And speaking of big, how was Oscar? And is he, I know you said you rested him a little bit in the Miles game.
He's okay. He's still, he's a little bit nicked up. But, again, this is one of those that, let's go. But he gives us a physical presence. We just got to, again, trying to figure out not only how you're doing, what is the rotation now for this kind of game? You're not playing 11 guys. It's not happening. Now, you might because of foul trouble, injuries, different things like that, but your rotation is going to be more normal with 8 guys, maybe 7. Who are they? And then the other side of it becomes next man up. Are you ready for your opportunity to prove you should be playing more? We're doing stats right now on points against a player as though he played 40 minutes. How many points would you give up if you played 40 minutes? And so now they're really seeing it. We're talking about it. We're zeroed in on it. So all those things play into this. We're going to have to help inside because of, they're big. They also shoot threes. Well, we got to help inside and take away threes. Not an easy task.
John Hale, you got next, and then Nick Lorenzen.
Cal, obviously you all recruited Paolo Banchero quite a bit. What kind of challenge is he for that post defense that you've talked so much about the last couple of weeks to start off here?
Well, the biggest thing is he's got size and girth. He's 250 pounds. So our 4 men are not that big, but they're quick and active, and he's got to guard them too now. But he's a skilled passer, scorer. He's a terrific player, great kid from a great family. He will be a challenge, but he's going to be a challenge for everybody all year.
Nick, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing today?
Good.
So I know you have Duke this Friday or today, or tomorrow, but you have Robert Morris on Friday. This will be the first time since the regular season after that you'll play them after that NIT game. Just reflect upon that game and speak about what Moon Township in the Pittsburgh area means to you.
Well, when we went in to play them, I'd spent a lot of time on that campus. I tell the story. My grandmother and my aunt, great aunt, worked in the cafeteria. I used to sneak food out the back door from them, work out down there, have lunch, then work out some more. So I go back to the Gus Crop days. So, it's a special place. What they've done to the campus, their facilities, off the charts. It's not the same school as when I grew up in that area. And coach, they've done a good job. I mean, they struggled last year, but so did we. They're way better this year, and it's a dangerous game, especially coming off of this, having to give the kids Wednesday off, probably not getting back until 3, 4 in the morning, having one practice day and then playing them. Going to be a hard game for us. That game is going to be hard.
Gabriel, go ahead.
John, you coached in a lot of big games like this, and you've seen some players do some remarkable things. Why do guys like John Wall and Maxey and those guys just take to moments like this and perform the way they do? Some shy away, but some really embrace it.
That's what you'll learn from this. You think this guy, that guy, you don't know until the game's over and you look and say, he loved that moment. And the biggest part of it is guys like that aren't afraid to look bad. They don't care. They're going to go play. They're not afraid to miss a shot or a tough shot or a game-winning shot. It's not going to change how they see it. And they want that play. They want to be in there, mainly because they're not afraid to miss it. And the same defensively, they dig in. It's not exchanging baskets and what I look like. I'm playing to make myself look better than this other guy. So I've had a bunch of those guys and been fortunate to coach in a lot of these kind of games. And you just don't know until the game's over. Like I told these guys, this is our next game. It's not a big game. Unless we win, then it's huge. And I said, how about this one? You're not going to know if you win or you lose until you win or lose. So go play. Let's be at our best. They'll be at their best. And let's see who's a little bit behind. Because at the end of the day, I think both teams will be fine. But we're both going to learn about each other.
Go to Dave Baker and then Keith Taylor. Dave, unmute yourself
There
there.
you go. Sorry, I'm unmuted. Cal, two-part question real quick, especially since you've been at Kentucky. You know, people talk every year nationally about you and Coach K, about Kentucky and Duke. Your thoughts on what could be your last matchup with him? And a big game like this early in the year, is there a tendency to like skew expectations? If you win, a lot of people think you're better than maybe you are. And if you don't win, then they think the season's over.
That could happen, but this is basketball. This isn't football. So I think they've watched my teams over the years, and we get better as the year goes on, and we give ourselves a chance. So that being said, the stuff about Coach K, look, he's made me a better coach. He's kept me sharper. We did things those first 5 or 6 years that, Duke started taking the same kind of guys. I mean, and it became that competition back and forth. But I've never lost respect for what he's been able to do over 40 years. Do you know how many times you have to change the way you coach and what you do? Doesn't mean the principles, the pillars of your program change, but how you defend, how you play offensively, how you teach, what's more important, and to do it over 40 years, incredible. At one place, incredible. Coach Rupp, you say the same thing. How do you do it that long in one place and still have a level of excellence that you have? And I'll tell you what, he's been great for all coaches. been great for all coaches. And I like the competition of coaching against the absolute best. You go, and whether I was young coaching against Coach Smith, that you have an opportunity, coaching against Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, that's, you want to see where you are in preparing your team. What's he doing right now that's different? But it's now I'm hoping this isn't the last time we play him. So don't make any mistake about that. I hope we play one and one more.
Keith Taylor, we'll go to you and then back to Larry Bob.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned on Friday that CJ was going to practice over the weekend. Number one, did that happen? And how is he progressing?
He practiced Saturday a little bit, and he practiced Sunday a little bit. He's practicing today a little bit. My guess is I may throw him in for a minute or two, let him just run up and down, but this probably isn't that game. But it's just good to have him back on the court competing.
Larry, go ahead.
John, when you talked about this won't be a game to play 11 guys. So does that mean in your mind, you already know now what guys you're going to play, or is that just something you just kind of do by feel once the game starts and you see what's happening?
Well, I may put guys in that I think are part of the group of 7 or 8, and then you watch and you say, let me try somebody else. And then that guy becomes that group of 7 or 8. I mean, again, I go back to Jacob. I didn't think Jacob would jump in this and do this, but his energy level and the spirit he brought to the court changed how we were playing. Now, just think if I can get 5 guys playing like him. Ooh, that's really hard. I'd rather shoot balls and make a couple plays and throw an assist and do a look away pass. And no, we need 5 dogs that play like him. Now we get 5 guys playing like that. All of a sudden we're really good because he is 6'9". He is 6'9" and active and athletic. And, he's making us different.
So John, does that mean that every game you're 7 or 8 might change all season?
I hope not. That means we've got inconsistent players.
Okay.
Sean Hale, and then back to Jerry, and then time for a few more.
Fans have to be vaccinated to be at this game tomorrow. My understanding is players don't. Just what is your team vaccination rate going into the season, and how concerned are you still about, things that might pop up with absences and stuff this year?
All of our guys and staff are vaccinated. Last year, not one of our players or staff contracted the virus. Not one. Now, we never were able to come together as a team because we made sure we were away from each other, but none of them contracted. And right now we're all, most of the staff has gotten their boosters. The school has been so diligent. I got to give it to Dr. Capilouto. I mean, when you talk about the rates on our campus, I mean, it's like near 90% vaccination. I'm talking staff and students, and, you don't have hospitalizations. I mean, what we've been able to do to survive this on our campus is incredible. And my hope is that, with the shots and boosters and what we're doing, that we'll be able to avoid any of that. But you don't know. You just don't know.
Jerry, go ahead, and then Adam Zagoria.
Yeah, John, I was thinking about what Sabir said about after the first exhibition, concentrating on the interior defense, and then Miles hits a bunch of threes. I'm wondering, after Miles, what's the focus of the defense?
Well, we want to stop him in the post and don't give him threes.
Pitch a shutout. How was the Knicks game last night?
I only stayed a half, so I wasn't the mush. Was not me. I stayed 1 half and left. They were in great shape when I left the gym, left the arena. And no, No, it was great. Derek Rose and Julius and seeing the guys. Nerlens didn't come out right away, so I didn't get to see him. Saw Kevin and, saw Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I think, and Derek both are going to come to the games. And then you had Leon and Wes and Kenny. Kenny looks good. Looks like he lost a little weight. But it was great seeing it. You're talking family. So it was great to be able to see everybody. And I got to sit there with my son, watch half the game. And then I took off.
Thanks.
More importantly, I got to get with the Cardinal this morning at Mass. He gave Mass and I met him after. Blessed my rosaries. I brought him with me just in case I saw him. Big day for me as a Catholic.
Adam Zagori, looks like you got the last question here.
Hey, John, just to follow up on your Knicks game there, a year ago, you said you thought Leon and Wes and those guys were going about this the right way and they weren't going to make any dramatic moves. They started off the year 5-1. I think they're 6-4 now. Just what are your thoughts on how they're kind of building the program, with your guys there and the other guys?
Well, they got injuries. I mean, that stuff's happening, but they have the flexibility they need to be able to evaluate who they have and the flexibility to do things if they need to. And let me say this, Cleveland is supposed to be, they're not supposed to be real good. Great. They are really talented. Like Mobley is really good. Their guard play is really good. I'm looking like every NBA team is good. And so if you're not ready to go or you have a bad shooting night, you will lose. But they beat Milwaukee. Now you think about that. And how about you walk in the arena at Madison Square Garden is like the old days. People going nuts. I hit Spike Lee last night. Where are you? I'm sitting right here. Where are you? So he hit me this morning, but
have you seen anything specific from Nerlens or Emmanuel or your guys that in their development?
Yeah, well, here's what's happened. Nerlens is going to be fine. I think he's beat up a little bit, but Emmanuel, he's got to be the next man up now, and it's harder because you're getting a little less minutes than you did a year ago. But it's next man up. You got to, take those minutes that you get and prove I need more. Because when I watch him, I love his spirit on the court, bouncing and all that. And for Derrick Rose at his age to do what he's doing, I mean, he's bouncy, looks young, best floater in the NBA. Shot a bunch of them last night. Nerlens makes a difference. They're telling me Kevin's gotten better, Kevin Knox. Now he's just got to get on the court and then do it when he's on the court. Hardest thing for a player. You're not getting a whole lot of minutes and you're thrown in there. Right? It is what it is. You got to go get it done.